Hey, welcome back to From the Tech Desk by your RC experts here at Rise Hobby. I'm your host, Brad Brooker. Today we're going to talk about the different type of connectors. Here's a list of connectors you may see. There are a number of different connectors out there, but we'll want to touch base on some of the more popular ones. Here we have some of the more popular connectors you'll see. We'll start with the Tamiya/standard connector. This is common in nickel monohydride NiCad batteries. So they normally just plug in like this. I have a little clip here to keep it from coming out. So that's your standard/Tamiya connector. Next we have is what is called a T-plug, hence the style of the actual plug itself looks like a T, plugs in. This is common in nickel monohydride NiCads and LiPos as well. So that's your T-plug. Next we have the EC series. It's the EC2, 3, and 5 plug. So EC2 is the more smaller plug. Then we have the EC3, which is, you can tell it's a little bigger. And the next is the EC5 connector. So with that, these are common with, again, nickel monohydride and LiPos. One neat little feature with the EC series is it does state on the connector itself what it goes to. So when you're trying to figure out what it is, this one, hence it says battery right there on the connector, and I'll tell you this end is for the battery. So if you're soldering on a new connector, you know which end goes where. Next is the new IC series from Spectrum. These are the IC2, IC3, and IC5. They're very similar to EC series. One neat little feature, it does have a data cable on the connector already attached. It actually allows you to feed information from the ESC to the battery and vice versa. So it's part of the smart ecosystem. Here we have an IC2 connector, little guy there. Next, IC3, as you can see, it's a little bit bigger. And then the IC5, which is the bigger one. Again, kind of like the EC series, if you're using a 2-cell, you can use the IC2 and IC3. But when you're getting to the 3, 4, 6 cell batteries, you want to make sure you use the IC5 connector. And again, one thing on these connectors, it does tell you actually where it gets soldered onto. So if you're putting new connectors on, they'll tell you this connector here is for the device. And on this side here, this one right here, it says actually for the battery. So it does state which they go to, which is a nice little feature for that. So there you have it. There are some of the common connectors you see out on the RC market. In addition to the connectors, there are a number of different adapters. Let's talk about a couple. Here we have an EC3 to an EC5 adapter. This is normally used for charging, especially if you have a EC5 battery end. You need an EC3 charge lead in. So this is an adapter to go from 3 to a 5. And again, with the EC and IC series, it does tell you on the actual plug itself what end the plug is for. So just let you know, so if you're kind of curious what plug you need, so it does tell you on the actual plug itself what it is. Next, we have an IC3 to an IC2 plug. So again, it goes from an IC2 to an IC3. Next, we have a very commonly used adapter here. This is actually commonly used in the Gen 1 smart chargers by Spectrum. So it has an IC3 to an IC5. One other note we wanted to mention is with the IC and EC series plugs, they are interchangeable. So if you have a IC5 and an EC5, they do plug into each other. So they do work with each other. Next, we have an IC5 to an IC3 plug. Again, I want to mention that with the plugs, they do tell you what they are. This right here, this plug in is the battery side. This here side is actually the device side. So next, here we have a series harness. So this is actually, you can run 2 batteries in series into one. So if you're running in essence, a 6S system, you can run 2 3S battery packs. So this is a series system. Next, we have a parallel system. So if you're going to run 2 batteries in parallel to longer run time, so in essence you're running 2 take a 5,000 milliamp battery, put two of them together, now you have 10,000 milliamps of runtime. So this is a parallel system. There you have it. There are some of your more common adapters you'll see. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for other helpful videos from your RC experts here at Horizon Hobby.